Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day. Heidi, do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. I seriously thought you'd never ask. You awake over there? Saturday, April 17th, National Crawfish Day, International Bat Appreciation Day, National Cheese Ball Day, National Ellis Island Family History Day, National Haiku Poetry Day, National Record Store Day, and National Auctioneers Day. I should have said that a lot faster. Sunday, the 18th of April, National Animal Crackers Day, National Columnist Day, and National Lineman Appreciation Day. I appreciate the linemen a bunch.
Oh, for sure.
Without them, we would be sitting here in the dark.
You betcha.
They put their necks on the line all the time to make sure that we are nice and bright. Coming up in a moment, I've got, it's later in the program, we have a guest, Randy Frazee. He's got a book called His Mighty Strength, Walk Daily in the Same Power That Raised Jesus from the Dead. I'm excited to chat with him all about that coming up in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. New study finds people who trust TV and social media for COVID-19 news actually know less about the virus than people who don't trust social media and television. It says here, according to researchers at Penn State, they added those who rely the most on Facebook score as the least knowledgeable about COVID. So it does not say where the people who know the most are getting their information. Not from social media, not from the television, but where?
Right.
I don't know. I've got a link to the story, though.
Independent research.
Apparently. Researchers say eating together at the dinner table without telephones could be the key to combating childhood obesity. They say the Mediterranean diet has long been seen as a healthy benefit, have seen as having healthy benefits. Researchers found its cultural traditions of conversation and slower eating can actually prevent eating disorders. So they're saying,
I agree with that completely.
Maybe you don't eat so fast.
Well, not only that, not so fast, but when you're taking your time and you're having conversation with your family, you're not eating as much.
Yeah, much
because
better.
Your body has a chance to fill up.
There you go. It's all good. This is Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. 32-year-old drove his friend to a Lincoln hospital in the bucket of a front-end loader. He was arrested for DUI and felony theft after blocking the ambulance bay with a stolen machinery. Aaron Spikler and Jordan Evans had taken a $75,000 front-end loader from 6th and Plum to the hospital with a 40-year-old man in the bucket before 11 p.m.
Was the 40-year-old man hurt?
He was taking the man to the hospital because he was injured. Police saw a bottle of alcohol in the vehicle, believed he was intoxicated. The owner, Taylor Excavating, said he did not have permission to take the loader. They arrested him on suspicion of felony theft, fourth offense DUI, and driving during a 15-year license revocation. His blood alcohol content was 0.184. More than double the legal limit. And that was by the time he got to jail. So who knows what it was before that. Bad idea. Don't do any of that. It's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Last week on Saturday Night Live, Kid Cudi wore a floral sundress on stage in tribute to Nirvana singer Kurt Cobain, who famously was photographed in the same dress for a British magazine about a year before his suicide, way back in the 90s. He was trying to bring awareness to suicide prevention. So That's kind of interesting. Honey Boo Boo is in the news. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
So Honey Boo Boo confronted her mother over her drug use during the first episode of their reunion show.
Didn't know they were doing a reunion.
Yeah, it is called Road to Redemption. So Heidi, set your DVR.
Alrighty.
Oh, we don't have a DVR, so I guess we don't need to. Anyway, Honey Boo Boo back in the news. Somebody had posted online, they're like, yeah, she's all worried about this drug use because, she's got to get ready for Honey Boo Boo for president in 2032. So, how funny would it be if she did?
Oh, my goodness.
That'd be crazy. All right, that is Big Screen, Little Screen, and it is brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day, it comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. A Florida entertainer who calls himself the Gator Crusader has taught an alligator to respond to his commands, but only when he speaks in the voice of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, that's funny.
I've got a link to the story if you want to see it. I think that's actually really fun. Now I want to... Can I train our dog to do things when I say
no.
Snap into a Slim Jim? I don't know if our dog could do that. Hasbro is now selling a $700 voice-activated, self-transforming Optimus Prime robot.
Whoa.
Yeah, $700. And it's
Does
a voice
it say how
activated.
big it is?
No, but it's a robot.
Robot?
Guessing it's, decent size. I've got a link if you want to click on it and see it. I'm going to keep
That
moving.
might be actually pretty cool.
For $700? I'm not, man. No, I don't think
Depends
I
on
need
how big it is.
what would you do with that? I just don't. I guess you could use it to deliver pizzas, which leads into my next story. Domino's is now using robots to deliver pizza.
Robots.
Okay, robots. I'm sorry. I say robots because it was on, what's the name of the show we like?
Goldbergs.
The Goldbergs. Yeah, the dad
And
kept...
he just passed away.
I know. I was so sad to hear that.
I know.
No, it was actually the grandfather that passed away, not the dad.
Yeah, it was a grandpa who said it like that.
Did he say? I thought it was the dad that said robots.
No.
Oh, well, see, what do I know? Anyway, Domino's is now using robots to deliver pizza. And this is an interesting story. This was going to be part of Big Screen, Little Screen, but somehow it landed here. A stylist revealed that Justin Timberlake pushed for Janet Jackson's famous wardrobe malfunction during the 2004 Super Bowl because he wanted to outdo the kiss between Britney Spears and Madonna that happened at the music video year that same time.
Really?
So they're saying this was not a snafu, it was planned. So I don't know if that's true. Who knows? Who cares? Now we know. Thanks for listening.
Done. What's done is done.
It's in the past. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. This probably would have been an awesome guest to have like Easter weekend, but I'm super excited to chat with him now as well. We've got Randy Frazee joining us today. He has a new book out. It's called His Mighty Strength. Walk daily in the same power that raised Jesus from the dead. Mr. Frazee, thanks for joining us. Tell me a little bit about this book and how you came up with the idea for this.
Well, John, there's two stories that are going on here. The first was several years ago, I was doing research for another project I did with my publisher, HarperCollins, called Believe, looking at the nature of Jesus, and ran upon some ancient writings that gives a different point of view on what Jesus gave up out of Philippians chapter 2 when he came and wrapped himself in flesh. And I was super intrigued with that. It led me to Ephesians 1, which dealt with the concept of the same power that raised Jesus from the dead lives in us. And I thought, wow, that's pretty fantastic. But why didn't Jesus raise himself from the dead? So that led me down a road that ultimately got me under contract to write this book with Thomas Nelson, which I'm super excited about. But in the middle of all of that, I ran into a bout of betrayal from some folks, and it led me into some clinical depression. So here's the deal. I'm writing this, this book that promises to give us access to the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, and yet there were days I couldn't raise myself from the couch. And I really believe that God was basically saying, I want this book to not just be intellectual for you. I want it to run through your spirit, run through your soul, so that you can give testimony to the reality that that same power does exist for believers today.
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry to hear about the terrible things that you've gone through, but think about this. If you hadn't gone through that, this book would be a completely different project, wouldn't it?
You know, John, this book would have been completely different. As a matter of fact, I actually completed a manuscript while experiencing this depression. My wife, who always reads my manuscripts before I send them in, said, this is the worst book you've ever written. You know, it's super geeky for your theological friends, but there's just so much more access to it. My publisher agreed and made me write it all over again, and they assigned an editor to me that pastored me through reluctantly telling my story throughout the book, and I'm so glad I did, because it is a different book, and it delayed it, John, so that it would come out on Easter on the heels of a pandemic.
I think that's really cool. And the book has been out since Easter weekend, so it's been out for a short while here now. And over the last year, I'll bet there are several people who probably had the worst year of their life, whether it's losing friends, losing family, losing jobs. So this book is coming out at the perfect time right now.
You know, John, I do think that this book can certainly contribute to the struggles that people are having. You know, a new Gallup poll came out that says that anxiety and depression, which I obviously know a little bit about, has never been higher since the Great Recession of 2008. And with all the political turmoil, the racial tension, all of the upside down stuff going on in our world right now, the world is experiencing a lot of trauma, and we may not even be fully aware of it. And so this book is coming out in God's timing, in my estimation, that might help even one person, particularly a person either to come to know Christ and get access to this power, or for a believer who's had access to it all along to discover how it is that they can live a victorious life in the midst of all of this turmoil.
And again, the name of the book is His Mighty Strength, Walk Daily in the Same Power That Raised Jesus from the Dead. And the book came out last month. It is available right now. Randy, where can people find a copy of this book if they want to find something like this?
Yeah, the one of the easiest ways, you can get it anywhere books are sold, but if you go to randyfrazee.com, my website, you'll learn a little bit about me and some of the other things that I've written, and it'll lead you to CBD, which will give you a really good discount for the book. Of course, you can go to Amazon and other places as well, but randyfrazee.com will also lead you to a place where you can get it for a good price.
That sounds fantastic, and I will throw a link in our show notes today to make it really easy to find. Randy, thank you for your time today.
You betcha. Thank you, my friend.
Again, our guest today has been Randy Frazee. The book, His Mighty Strength, Walk Daily in the Same Power That Raised Jesus from the Dead. It's available right now. Like I said, I'll throw a link to it in the show notes for today to make it super easy to find. And you can find them at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The total weight of ants on Earth once equaled the total weight of people. Entomologists estimated there are at least 1 million trillion insects, and only 1% of that number is ants, according to the BBC. If you took all of those ants, about 10,000 trillion, and put them on one side of a giant scale, you could put almost all of the people in the world on the other side of this giant scale to balance things out.
Really?
Unfortunately, as humans have become heavier, this probably wouldn't hold up today. But it once did. Francis Retnick's professor of apiculture, told the BBC that this might have held true around 2,000 years ago.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah,
I would
but
have
they're
never
saying-
guessed.
Saying now we weigh much more.
Yeah, well, now we outweigh them, but even
Yeah.
still, it's pretty cool that it was
That's a
ever
lot of-
even a thing.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a whole lot of ants is what we're trying to say. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world, brought to you by radiotravelgroup.com. Dateline Britain ×2. I've got 2 British stories.
Okay.
First one, kind of sad. Prince Andrew told British reporters the death of Prince Philip has left a huge void in his life. I'm sad to hear that. And take 2, another British story. YouTuber in England shows off his multitasking skills by, are you ready for this? Solving a Rubik's Cube while riding a unicycle and juggling with a crystal ball balanced on his head.
Holy cow, I can't do any of those things.
Yeah, well, I can do most of those things.
You cannot.
Just not at the same time.
You can't do them at all.
Let me think here. Solve Rubik's Cube? No.
No.
Unicycle? No. Juggle? No. Crystal ball balanced on my
No.
head? Probably not. I'm out. That is a news headline, 2 of them, from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police have busted a mattress-making factory because they found that they were using discarded face masks in place of cotton and other materials to stuff their mattresses.
Hey, they're just recycling.
Yeah, a case has been filed against the owner of the unit, with the police launching a probe into the matter. Piles of face masks were also recovered from the mattress factory. These used face masks found lying around the premises were set on fire as the prescribed norms. That apparently is what they've been doing with them. The matter first came to light when police this is in Maharashtra. I don't even know where this is.
I don't either.
I don't even know what country this is in. They said that they were alerted about the racket located near Mumbai City. Okay, when officials visited the premises of the factory, they found a mattress that was stuffed with used masks. A case was registered against the factory owner. The police are now probing the involvement of others in the racket. So, yeah, like Heidi said, they were just recycling, but they're saying it was very unsanitary. Everything about this was a bad idea. That's why it is today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. 4 teenage girls are accused of setting fire to an unoccupied house in Pennsylvania and posting footage of the inferno to Snapchat.
4 teenage girls.
Yes.
Oh.
Police used the social media post to identify and arrest the suspects ranging from age 12 to age 14. It was a duplex. The girls told police they started the blaze, quote, because they were bored. They allegedly used numerous aerosol sprays, including bug spray and Lysol, to ignite the fire. Officers and firefighters suffered minor injuries during the fire.
Oh, my
They say the teens are charged with felony arson, causing catastrophe, trespassing, and endangering another person. They were released to their families. The case will be heard in juvenile court. That is very concerning to me.
That's extremely concerning.
Very concerning. And they did this, and then they sat there and videotaped it.
Oh, my gosh.
Bad idea. Don't do that. Anything like that. So dangerous. And if you've got kiddos, it's not a bad idea to just tell them, don't do that. I mean, just tell them. Moment of duh, brought to you by RadioSavings.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, But I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Heidi, tell me, Meadow Hills in Iowa Falls, Iowa. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
That's a golf course.
Meadow Hills is a golf course.
See,
Your
I am
dad may have
back.
golfed there. Do you think?
Possibly. I don't know.
Has he ever golfed in Iowa Falls? Do you even know where that is?
I don't.
I don't either. It's in Iowa. But her dad
By
lives
the
in Iowa.
falls, I bet.
Probably.
Yeah.
Her dad lives in Iowa, and he is a very good golfer, so it's very possible.
Very good golfer.
That's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. And this, I think, is a pretty darn cool story. It says, here's the headline. She hugged me and wouldn't let go. Here's the rest of the headline. State trooper rescues a 2-year-old girl. Aww. Yeah, this little girl was missing, and he saved her. She was on a mountaintop in New York, South Bristol, New York. Brian Hotchkiss said when the state police received the call for a missing girl, he knew they were fighting against the clock. He said these missing kids, things can get bad quick, time sensitive, depending on the time of the year. So although it was a nice day, temperatures are dropping and it's going to get cold. So he and other members of law enforcement, they were knocking on neighbors' doors, asking if they had seen the girl. Anybody knew anything anyway. He and a couple other troopers decided to climb the mountain about a half a mile from the girl's home. When they got to the top, he was winded by the time he was done. But that's when they saw in the trees a little pink dot, and he knew that was her.
Wow.
He said, I followed the stream, and I located the child. She was lying on her stomach on a rock, and I ran over as quickly as possible. I saw her arm move. I knew she was alive. My heart just dropped. He said, I was so excited. I ran up. She hugged me immediately and would not let go.
How did she get there?
She just wandered off.
Wow.
So it wasn't too far from her home. But they live in a very wooded area, and she's a little kid, and she just went wandering around, and that's why you can't do that. You gotta keep.
Terrifying.
But it's tough. We've had kids. We've got 2 kids.
Oh yeah.
And I've been there where we're doing something, you turn around, you're like, where did they go? Where did they? How did that happen? So kids are kids, man. Quite a story, and I'm glad it has such a happy ending because it could have had a terrible ending, but this time anyway. Very, very positive. Very, very wonderful ending. And I've got a link to that story if you want to read the whole thing. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend.